Hey, how we doing? It's JJ. Today I have brought you to a very special spot to me. I have brought you here quite a few times, but we haven't been here for a while. And this is a special spot to me for a couple of reasons. And I'll elaborate on those further into the video. I've been here about 10 or 15 minutes and I've just sat down. I've just immersed myself into the landscape. I've sat quietly. I've observed. I've listened. I've watched. I've slowed myself down and I've just sat in this environment. And now I'm going to get myself set up. And once you'll see the setup and where it is, some of you will recognize that, but for some it may be the first time that you've seen this place. And it is a special place to me. So let's get into this video and find out why it's such a special place. Catch you in a bit. Well, of course, it goes without saying it'd have to be the half Lavvu. Just going to quickly pop you on pause, then I'm going to show you this amazing little spot. Now you all know I like a nice tidy camp setup, so I've just set myself up in there. Got my DD magic carpet down, laid out all my kit so I know exactly where it is. Count my items out, count my items back in. JJ's top tip for you, that is. So here we are. This is such a special spot to me. Let me show you it. Let's come up. Let's switch this around. There you go. JJ's classic half Lavvu. Now you can see, because I'm slightly underneath this tree, the inside of that is really dark. And that suits me perfectly for sitting in there and watching the wildlife, which I've done many times before. But let me show you this spot. Just going to come out into this open little glade area. And there she is, all set up just by a tree. We're going to talk about this tree in a second. Okay, so I just popped you up and paused there because there was an airplane going overhead. And for those of you that have followed me for a while, you know I come to this wood that's on the flight path of Luton Airport. So this is known as the airplane wood or hitchwood. So there we are, we're all set up, half Lavvu. I've got a lovely book to read by Ray Mears, British Woodland, How to Explore the Secret World of Our Trees, a little bit later on. And I've got my kit laid out, nice and tidy, JJ style. We've got these two hazel staves here, which are connecting up to a rough timber ridge pea. Ridge line going off over onto this tree. And this little tree is amazing. This little tree is amazing. You may not look it, but this is a European hornbeam. Lots of the leaves have been attacked by caterpillars, etc. But it's a gnarled, old, twisted little old hornbeam that survives in this configuration. So let's just pop that back round. We're just gonna pop this down here. Let's see how that's gonna look. That looks alright. I'm not gonna faff around too much. This spot is such a special spot to me. It really is. I just love coming here. I've been coming here for about 6-7 years now. These hazel staves that are here, I've been using these for about 5 or 6 years. And I stow those up in this lovely little hornbeam tree. Out of sight, out of mind. Some of my friends that come in know they're there and they use them, but they always put them back. But I love this spot. I absolutely love this spot. I've been here so many times, I really have. So I'm going to do, so I'm going to have a quick brew, and then I'm going to tell you why this spot is not only perfect for a half Lavvu or a full Lavvu camp. I mean, I've brought other setups here. Me and the guys have another little camp just over there, about 30 meters away. But this is my spot, and I'll tell you why and what the significance of that is after I've had a brew. Hang on. Do. So you can see inside there is pretty dark, and as I say, that sort of hides me when I sort of sit in there so that I can look out. But you see the little glade that's behind it? It's full of bracken and that at the moment, and it's where a tree once was, and it's opened up that area, and it's full of oak trees behind it, and the bracken grows up, and the sunlight dapples through there, and quite often I sit here and I just watch butterflies in their courtship sort of dance, trying to mate, find a partner to lay their eggs, and that's a lovely sight. And at this time of the year, I'm sat underneath this old hornbeam, and it's got its flowers, it's got its seeds hanging down, so it gives me even more cover. This is at a browse height for the fallow deer, and behind me I've got this amphitheatre behind where the bracken grows up to the browse height, so it's really, really covered. But the reason I actually love coming here with this half Lavvu is 6 or 7 years ago, I wasn't in a good place, and I have spoken about that in other videos. I was mentally and physically not in a good place. I'd gone through a divorce. I'd got myself into another relationship, and then another one, and that ended up being a really toxic, controlling relationship. And as much as I used to have the other permission at high wood, and I enjoyed using it, it was a place where others knew I would be. So if I wanted to escape, that wasn't the place to be. But coming here, because this is a much bigger wood, I could come and hide. Hiding's not always a good thing. It's not always a good thing. And I was hiding. I was physically not in a good place. I was broken emotionally. Mentally, I was completely broken. But coming here was a place that I would escape to. It was a place that I would hide, because I could literally just hide here. It was a place of refuge. It was a place of solace. The refuge part was part of me for quite some time. I would come here. I first found it in sort of summer. I'd biked through this wood for years, but I started coming to this back place, and it was a refuge. And I started using a half Lavvu. I'd recently just got the Lavvu, and I found that this just sat into the environment really well. And I just came here all the time. I wasn't giving it the energy into my own business at the time. I mentally couldn't do it. So I was coming here a lot to hide and escape away from the realities of life. And I've been quite open about that before. Escaping the realities of life. I was not in a good place. So I found myself coming here more and more often. And slowly, over time, by coming here, it wasn't a refuge anymore. It started to be a place of solace and comfort. I started to get myself into a better place. I sought help, and that took a while, but it started to become a real place of solace and comfort. And the more time I spent here, especially in the Lavvu, I found myself more relaxed. My physical well-being started to improve. My mental well-being started to come back on track, and that did take a while. So first of all, this place was a place that found me completely broken. But by coming here, it slowly helped me heal. And that was the first part of the journey. The second part of the journey was, by coming here, immersing myself in the landscape and the environment I was in, I was observing nature on a more closer, personal, deeper level. I mean, for those that have watched these videos from here before, I have often seen deer here. I mean, this video follows on from the previous one of the debris shelter, and you've already seen that I've seen deer today. And I've been over the back, just over there, and captured on film before 2 male fallows having a big old fight. That was interesting. We're not doing that again. But I came here and I started observing, I started learning more about the environment. So many amazing trees here. Hornbeam, sweet chestnut, beech, oak, lime, silver birch, hazel. And I started to see all of these trees through, as you can see, the tattoo on my arm of a tree. I observed all those trees during their natural cycles through the season. And I started to learn more. I started coming up here. I'd set myself up and I would just bring a little book out, make notes in a little journal, and I found myself a lot more comfortable. And it was around that time as well that I was really engaged in the group side on Facebook. So many different bushcraft and wild camping groups. And that was taking up a lot of my energy, And I still do post in the groups, but I don't regularly contribute as much as I used to, because now that I've got myself back on track, bought a house, I'm in a completely understanding, loving relationship with Jane. A few of you have met Jane in person and at camps and at the bushcraft show. You can see I'm a completely different person, and I invest my energy into that. I meet up with friends at camps, I go to the bushcraft show, I do engage in the groups, but now I do my posts as and when I can. but I always reply to any comments that I see. And I do my best to do that because that's really important to me, it really is. So this place is really, really special. At a time when I was completely broken on every level, in time, coming here, plying my craft, practicing my craft, learning, observing, taking in everything that was around me. I mean, the amount of times I've sat here and I've seen deer go past and hare. You get hare a lot here. They're not always out in the fields. I sit here, I listen to the chatter of birds and try to determine which species they are without actually seeing them, because at this time of year it's hard to actually see them. But this is a place that completely found me when I couldn't find myself. It's important to talk about these things. This is a special spot. It really is a special spot. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. If anyone ever needs to reach out and talk about their own troubles, you know how to get hold of me. I'm on all the media, and you can reach out. I will always be there for anyone that finds themselves in the same situation and predicament that I was in. I'm not in that place anymore. I invest time in myself and my energies. I control those energies. And that's why I love to come to places like this. So find yourself a special spot, immerse yourself in it, and you become a better person for it. I hope you've got something out of this video. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later. Bye bye bye.